Hi, welcome to Rajalnai. In this video, we are going to discuss about IT security and as well as risk management. So as we all know, whenever the organization in reference to the IT itself is concerned, wherein they have to understand the importance of complying the regulatory requirements. At the same time, they have to maintain the strong operational performances and all everything, so that it will be useful for them to increase the shareholders value and all everything in regular intervals, especially in the environment of the competitiveness in reference to the organizations. They have to maintain and afford security measures. At the same time, they have to protect their intellectual properties, followed by the sensitive customer information and all that. This is something essentially important for any organizations to perform. At the same time, they require some comprehensive security strategies, which majorly reaches to the business objectives, what they wants to perform. In this regard, in this video, I'm going to explain about what are all the aspects which are comes under IT security and as well as risk management is all about from the organizational level, what exactly they requires. Usually this will be classified into few different parts. One is about security policy compliance. The second about vulnerability management, followed by the security architecture. Next, data leakage protections, identity management, followed by security incident management. When we are understanding about the security policy compliance, wherein this security policy compliance, which majorly understand about the kind of security policy readiness assessments, what is to be made and how is this important, because what kind of security policies and procedures do we require to follow and how that is to be assessed. That is one part of security policy compliance. Second, security policy management framework, because how this policy management frameworks has to be designed. At the same time, not only policy management, we must be knowing about policy compliance frameworks, all that stuff, followed by the kind of roles and responsibilities which has to be defined and as well as managed by the people who are managing this security compliances, all that stuff. At the same time, security policy compliance majorly focusing on the automation of security policy compliances, followed by the kind of programming awareness, what is that we require. So these are the aspects which are comes under security policy compliance is all about. Please do remember, this is a video which will be useful to provide some awareness over IT security and risk management for a people who wants to learn about what exactly this will involve. So that this is a high level glimpse of the video which I'm making, so that any new learners who wants to know about what exactly IT security and IT risk management, so this video majorly useful and as well as meant for them, so that they will be knowing about at least an overall idea about the securities and as well as risk management, especially in the field of IT, all that, so that they'll have some more awareness over. So when they are working, so that they will be more knowing about more details. So for that reason, this video is being made. Coming to the second point, which is called vulnerability management, where the security configuration reviews, at the same time network vulnerability assessments. Followed by this, we must be knowing about assessment, something relating to the host vulnerabilities or wireless vulnerabilities. At the same time, maintaining this data center access management, which is something physical on its node, must be having here. Followed by this, what are the social engineering protection assessments to be made? All these things comes under the vulnerability management part. Not only this, whatever the web application penetration test to be made, at the same time, the kind of external network penetration test to be made to manage this network vulnerability assessments. At the same time, to understand about post vulnerability assessment, whatever the internal network penetration test we have. When we talk about assessments of wireless vulnerability, whatever the modern penetration test we require to follow, followed by this wireless network penetration test, is all comes under vulnerability management. When we talk about security architecture assessment majorly classified into three different parts. One is about security architecture assessment has to be made, followed by assessment, proper design by understanding the compliance policies and procedures of the organization, followed by this deployment of security architecture deployment has to be made. End of the day. At the same time, data leakage protection. So how data has to be managed and protected, where sensitive data assessments will be there. At the same time, whatever the data protection strategies and frameworks to be required to follow, followed by the data classifications, all that. At the same time, how this data leakage protection technology selection will be made and how this has to be deployed. Apart from this, identity management, which is called IDM strategy, identity management strategy has to be designed. Followed by this has to be incorporated with organization and process designs by understanding about the enterprise architecture of the organization. In connect to that, we need to understand about identity management in reference to the design directory, what it is essentially needed for us to design something. Followed by this, whatever the kind of technology selection are we performing, apart from the technology deployment, all that stuff. Now, when we are talking about security incident management, where incident management framework has to be designed, that has to be classified according to the incidents, stages, and all that. Followed by this, like inventory analysis and design has to be made. In that, we have to prepare the security incident management architecture, followed by the technology selection has to be made. What kind of technology is something suitable according to the requirements what customer has, followed by how this can be deployed, all that. Last but not least, standards of ISO 2000, 27001 and 27002, wherein we'll be knowing about, we must be knowing about the security readiness assessments of ISO standards. At the same time, the security management framework, what is that to be followed? And moreover, the next one will be knowing to the people more about IT risk management, how this IT risk management has to be taken place and how this is to be performed, followed by kind of policies and procedures to be developed. Last but not least, security awareness among people, so that how to protect their data, right? How to protect their environment, right? Based upon the kind of policies and procedures what organizations should supposed to follow, and they are following all these. So this is all about IT strategy, followed by the risk management, like IT securities, like IT risk management procedure is all about. So which majorly useful for any business to meet their objectives in their business environment. So this is all about an awareness video which I have made for people who wants to know about IT security and IT risk management. So this is all for the learners and new learners. What are all the things are there available on this and all, try to have it. I hope this video is helpful for people who want to have a basic understanding about what exactly IT security and risk management is all about. Thank you.